Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second episode of New Testament Revealed Deception by the Devil's book by author and host Leon Fransceco Benjamin. In this segment, we're going to be talking about chapter 1 of the book. If you have not purchased the book as of yet, you can download a free copy from Smashwords. That's www.smashwords.com. Or if you would like a physical copy, you can go to Amazon and search for the title of the book, which is called New Testament Revealed. If you're having trouble with that, you can search for the author's name, Leon Benjamin. So without further ado, I'd like to just jump into chapter 1, which is entitled Background and Belief. Now, chapter 1 is not too long of a chapter. It's about 6 or so pages, and it simply gets into the author's background and where his belief comes from as far as a God or a supernatural being is concerned. So I'm going to read through the chapter and also make comments along the way so you get a grasp of what exactly is being said. Chapter starts off like this. No matter where on earth you're born, your parents and family believe in something or someone. This belief is where your perception of faith and life inside or outside of this world will come. From atheists to Christians, even if you do not believe in a supreme being or deity or God, believing in nothing is also a belief, consequently. Many will argue that there is one God. Some will proclaim there are many gods, and others will say there is no all-powerful being out there. As for me, I have always believed in one supreme all-powerful being who created everything we can behold with our eyes and our senses. And this goes hand in hand to also say along the lines that I've always believed in a one God. It might have stemmed from my indoctrination process, but I have held on to this belief, and I don't think it will ever change anytime soon, if at all, but I 100% believe that there is an all-powerful being that created everything around us, because I do not believe in chance. I do not believe in coincidences, and I don't believe in anything being random. So, the Big Bang Theory and all that, it might be true, it might be false, but I choose to stick to something that makes more sense to me, rather than just some random coincidences coming along and creating everything that we see. So the book continues. Everyone is entitled to their own belief, whether it's to believe in something, someone, or not. The one thing we can't do is fall in a middle ground, that is, not believing in anything and believing in something or someone at the same time. Except, of course, if you're never told of the concept of a God or gods. It is through the knowledge of good and evil have we been thrown into a world of choice to believe or not to believe, to do or not to do. Consequently, this knowledge now requires some action on the believer's part. The largest religion or collective belief system on planet Earth is called Christianity. This group of believers are an estimated 2.1 billion people collectively at any given time. The book used for religious study and insight is called the Holy Bible. This sacred and cherished book is actually a collection of manuscripts, letters, and songs compiled together to form the Holy Bible. On a higher level, these individual ancient manuscripts were written thousands of years ago on durable paper, cloth, or both, and survived over the course of time inside caves and some buried. So today, the work we call the Holy Bible is a selection of some of these manuscripts. Yes, only some of these books were included, others are still to be found, and some float around in libraries and on the internet. The Holy Bible, like any similarly complex literary work, is a book best understood by reading to completion one book or manuscript at a time. Though it is said that there are 66 books within the Bible, this common mistake will be explained in later chapters. For now, we will go with the collective knowledge and work our way to the facts. After reading through the Bible, I can confirm that my previous perception, or rather, my assumption of what the Bible was, didn't hold up very long. Before reading, I thought the Bible was a religious book in its entirety. I thought, through going to church and hearing others talk about different, profound things, the Bible was for Christian believers. This is simply not true, especially after reading the Holy Scriptures of what is now called the Old Testament. No mention of any particular religion is found anywhere in these ancient texts. It is also commonly misconstrued that the Holy Bible is written in parables and codes. This is also not true. It is only in with the introduction of Jesus in the New Testament is the concept of parables introduced. The Christian religion or belief system consists largely of the belief that there is one God, who is also three beings in one, created this world and everything in between. However, as we will find out later, this belief is not accurate if one is to follow the teachings as they are laid out in the Scriptures. The Old Testament explains the history of creation all the way down to approximately 2,000 years ago, with gaps in between. The first section of the Bible is called the Five Books of Moses, or commonly referred to as the Pentateuch, or Torah. According to various sources, of which you can readily search online, there is one commonly accepted definition. The Torah, according to Torah Research International, means Torah is derived from a root that was used in the realm of archery, yare. Yare means to shoot an arrow in order to hit a mark. The mark or target, of course, was the object at which the archer was aiming. Consequently, Torah, one of the nouns derived from this root, is therefore the arrow aimed at the mark. The target is the truth about God and how one relates to Him. The Torah is therefore, in the strict sense, instruction designed to teach us the truth about God. Torah means direction, teaching, instruction, or doctrine. The first 5 books explains the beginning of everything, the disobedience, or commonly referred to as sin, of the first couple, the Garden of Eden, the generations following the first sin, etc. The entire first part of the Holy Bible is now considered old or ancient. One reason is because the information contained therein is considered to be thousands of years old. Some books were later transcribed from teachings they were found to be before the time of writing on paper. There is also a second meaning, which assumes that there was an old agreement or covenant, and later a new agreement or covenant made between the chosen people and the Most High. So consequently, the name for the first section of the Bible is called the Old Testament, and the latter section is called the New Testament. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, the word testament means 1. Archaic, a covenant between God and the human race. capitalize either of two main divisions of the Bible. Meaning number 2, a tangible proof or tribute. 2b, an expression of conviction or creed. Meaning number 3, an act by which a person determines the disposition of his or her property after death. Note, I will always give references to sources of information so that you can verify the presented information for yourself. Now, taking the above definition into consideration, an Old Testament would mean an Old Covenant or agreement. A New Testament would mean a revised or new covenant or agreement. We will later find out why this is absolutely impossible. When we understand what the Old Testament scriptures teach us, there is only one covenant between the Most High and the chosen people. Many people provide their opinions on what testament and other words mean, beyond the scope of what a dictionary meaning provides, and that is by all means the right of every person. However, in the context of literary study, language and definitions, a word is within the confines of a specific definition. So opinions on what something means is simply irrelevant in the grand context of intellectual discussion and further understanding. Now that we're in full understanding of what the Christian Bible consists of, let's get into what this Bible is used for and what is actually written inside. For it is only through actual facts and truth we can truly gain knowledge. Otherwise, we're only storing lies and the opinions of others in our memory banks. And this concludes chapter 1 of the book. And as you can see, the information contained herein is strictly based on factual information. And if, again, there is anything that was in this chapter that you feel was incorrectly laid out or incorrectly proclaimed, I encourage you to write a comment below or go to the official website and send an email or whichever way you deem necessary. But being that this video is here on YouTube, it would only make sense that you leave a comment so that everyone else can see your opinions and your questions and also your claims, and therefore we can continue in a public forum or a public way. I promise you I will never delete any comments, no matter how outlandish or, however you may want to put your words. I will always respect your opinions. And I hold my belief rather strict, so I would expect everyone else who has a belief in God or whatever God it may be to be very strict and stringent on their belief and not waver in the face of challenge or adversity. And from going over chapter 1 again, I still hold that everyone who has a belief should hold on to facts and hold on to things that are actually tangible and things that you can actually hold on to rather than hold on to faith. Because faith cannot be seen, touched, nor verified. And if you're putting your faith into something that has holes in it or doesn't have a concrete foundation or standing, then you are bound to be fooled, tricked, and bamboozled by just about anyone who has a good understanding of how the scriptures work and what it actually says. So with that ends the second in our series covering the New Testament revealed Deception by the Devils book written by Leon Fransceco Benjamin, and I'm also your host. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything else that you would like to share, share it in the comment sections below, and I will surely respond within 24 hours. Thank you.